The Garnet and Old Show. No inside info, no contacts, no problem. I'm Ryan, Big Papa East, and that is Vince Does It All Ciccarelli. He's he's the director, the producer, the seducer. Vince
Oh,
Ciccarelli, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, Ryan. We're about ready to get some cold weather here.
Mm. It's
Uh,
already really cold outside right now.
it's pretty cold. I know you had sent something to me about possibly getting some snow this weekend.
Hmm.
My daughter Gabby also in the Georgia area. Also, maybe some possible snow on Sunday, some flakes, and possible some flakes in the Panhandle. So I don't know. What is we doing, Ryan, with all this
Yeah,
winter weather?
the only thing we don't know is it's like the models change every day, right? So
Yeah.
like it's like sleet or just rain or just snow.
Yeah.
But right now, Vince, like as we speak, it's 36 here where I live in Georgia,
It's not there yet here, but
and the low is 19 tonight.
ooh, time to fire up the space heater.
No,
Uh,
I'm all about the internal AC, and we got a brand new one, so I got to use that baby. I got to use it.
you got
Um,
to. It's also going to use your bill, your electric bill.
Now,
I
speaking of,
know you don't. Yeah, I know you don't want to spend money on electricity bills. You should spend it, Ryan, on going to do some fishing with Captain John Black in Panama City Beach, Florida.
mm,
Premier charter fishing captain in Florida, in the region, sponsor of Garnet Gold, many years, dear friend of ours, diehard Nole, former chief, excellent captain. And I just recommend that you give him a call if you're looking for that kind of experience. Let him know that Garnet and Old sent you there because I think he would like to know that. He would like to know that. The other people that would like to see you anytime soon, as it fits your journey, your life, is the Palace Saloon in Tallahassee, a tradition. I was speaking to one of the owners or the owner of the Palace Saloon earlier today, and
yes.
he is, yeah, he is, he's so excited. He has been so excited to be a sponsor for our show,
Hmm.
and we just thank him for that. And we're looking forward to doing some more great things this fall. Those things to be announced. They're pretty exciting things, but I don't want to let the cat out of the bag until we're sure it's going to happen.
Meow. Uh, Real quick about you said running the heat and then going back to that whole topic right there. Um, so here's the thing: I like to sleep pretty cold. So in summertime, for those of you who don't know me or haven't slept in the same room as me, um, I like to sleep at a comfortable 67 degrees. So during winter, I set the heat to 65 because I can go as low as 65 before I start to get a little chilly even with the blanket. So
Yeah, yeah.
setting it on 65, even though it's going to be 19, I feel like is it won't be too hard on the machine. I'm not asking it to keep it 81 in here.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So, I switched over my thermostats several years ago to
Mhm.
the Ecobee, not
Yep.
a sponsor, and that thermostat has done a wonderful job of saving us money on the energy bills. We keep it at during the summer about 71, 72, just right. And
Mm.
then in the wintertime, I rarely run the heat at all. I think I have told this story on this show before. There was one winter in particular where one of my daughters, when I was trying to wake her up to go to school, um, she basically yelled at me and said, "Dad, would it kill you to turn the heat on for one day?"
Yes.
So I'm that guy. I refuse to put the heat on. As long as I can stand it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Now, Vince, I do have bad news for you and the channel. Really bad.
Oh, bad news?
Yeah. So, my dad's getting married on a cruise ship.
Well, I did know that. Is that bad news that he's getting married?
The date the ship leaves, September 19th. Vince, what is on September 19th?
Is that the Alabama game?
That is the Alabama game. Son of a bitch. I'll
Well,
be in the middle of the ocean.
well,
I brought up my calendar just now. The good news is the schedule is really, really weird. Uh,
yeah.
August 29th is the first home game. I will be there.
Yep.
Then you go 19 days, is 20 days, or essentially with no Florida State football. You play Alabama, and then you don't, and then you go on your normal. The next week you play Central Arkansas. So it's a weird break. So the home opener, we'll have a full like 2 weeks until we play Alabama. So
yeah,
that's what the schedule shows. It's really weird.
Well, they haven't announced all the game times and game dates, have they?
Yeah, but I'm looking at it, and you would assume.
No, I don't think they've announced the full schedule yet.
I thought Alabama was announced already as the second game of the year.
I think it's the third game of the year.
Okay, then that would make more sense. No matter what.
Yeah.
Well,
you weren't going to go to that game anyway. That's an away game.
Right. The next week, though, is when I get back on a Saturday. And that's Central Arkansas Bears at Doak Campbell.
So you're going to be coming right from the port to Tally.
In Port Canaveral, potentially, yes, that could happen. That could be an option.
Yeah.
But here's what I thought about doing, and tell me if I'm crazy. I think this is secretly genius, Vince. Here's what you do. I would have to have boarded my dog anyways for the cruise, correct?
Yes.
There's a pet paradise in Tallahassee.
Yes.
I board my dog for the cruise in Tallahassee.
There you go.
And then come to the cruise, and then, the next day after
you just got to get clearance.
Yeah, but it is annoying that, like, literally because you know how cruise ship sports go.
We do.
Yeah, so I will be very upset because the last time I was on a cruise and missed a Florida State game, we lost to that was the Hail Mary pass against,
Jacksonville
State, and in which I texted you, I assume a blowout, and you said, no, we lost, and I thought you were joking.
Yes, I remember this, yeah. That was the first year of the show, I think, the first year of our show, when we first started doing the show.
Yeah, I just remember I gotten back from a late night show on the cruise ship. It was like 10 o'clock. And I was just headed back to the room, and I didn't care to check this. I'm like, because you're assuming, the opponent will be all right. And so I just texted you, hey, how's it going? And you're like, not good. And I was like, I assume we won. How close was it? And you're like, we lost.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of like terrible news in that moment, but yeah, that was a shocker. But tonight, Ryan, is about positivity. I'm done with all the negative stuff. There's just too much out there. It's about no positive tonight. There are positive things, and we keep, you can't let the world bring you down and think that everything is negative, no matter if it's about sports or about politics or about AI or whatever it is. If you surround yourself with people that just think the worst all the time, I'm telling you, you're not going to enjoy your life. So Garnet and Old is not going to be about that. We will be honest, but we're not going to dwell in the puddle of our own sick, as I call it.
Let's shout out some people.
Let's do it.
Breeze Fry. Let's go, Seminoles.
He's first one, as always.
Old Dad 751. Yo. And then Spartan Nole actually guessed what I was going to say about Alabama. What is frustrating is I actually was planning on going to that game, Vince, because my wife's brother is a homer for Alabama, loves Alabama. And he asked me the other day, are we going to go to Tuscaloosa? And I said, of course.
Yeah.
Let's ride together.
Roll Tide Willie.
Leave it to the old dad. Planning weddings in general in the fall is a treason. And it's even more risky that we're doing a cruise wedding in hurricane season on September 19th. So we'll see how it goes.
Especially after this season where there were no storms at all.
Correct. It'll definitely be horrible.
Spartan Nole, welcome to the show. You have been tuning in for a long time now, and I appreciate that. And he's right. That was the game after we had the most humiliating loss. Brady Scott got down on a knee and asked his girl to marry him. It's like,
if you're Brady Scott, because clearly she didn't know that was going. The girl hopefully didn't know that was going to happen. My guess is, Vince, that if that was me in that game, I would have been like, let's wait for the first win.
Let's do something to kind of kick this thing off in a more positive light, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
what are we doing? I would not have wanted to do it on the day in which we lost the game, but he'd probably been building that up in his mind, and was ready to get it out. So
Yeah. While we're getting ready to kick off the topics here, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We appreciate that. It helps the channel out. And also, if you want to grab that link and share it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on GeoCities, on
GeoCities, what are we doing?
whatever it is that you're doing these days, you crazy kids, whatever you're doing, share it out there so we can get some more people in the convo tonight. Mostly because people, I keep telling we got to be positive. We've got to get some more positive vibes out there. And I think the more people we have in here, we can help that. We can help that to occur. Looking for our super goal tonight of $100. You can get us there by Venmoing us. There's a Venmo there on the bottom right, Garnet and Old, or you can super chat us on YouTube and make sure your comment absolutely gets read. Or if you want us to dive into a really deep topic, that's a way to make sure we
Yeah.
do that too.
One thing I want to bring up in a broader sense, Vince, and you mentioned it earlier, not letting, if you fill yourself with, or your environment with negativity, negativity shall follow. And so
Yeah.
one of our staples of this channel is that we try to stay out of the muck. We try to stay out of the worst parts of the fandom, if at all possible. So one thing I want to just kind of toss out there is, even when things are bad, whether it be at, home, work, football, whatever it is, even when things are bad, how bad are they really? Like, if you look around at the totality of everything that affects you in your life, if what's happening on this football team right now is enough to make you, really just down in the muck, uh, I think it's time to reevaluate. I think it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, if I let Florida State football rule my life and my emotions like it did when I was in college or when I was a
It,
young man,
yes, it did.
then
Yes,
I
it
would be
did.
waking up on Monday mornings and being like, what is even the point? But as you age and as you become a little bit more experienced in life, you realize, like, listen, I love when they win. It stinks when they lose, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to let it affect me the way it did when I was a younger man. So I
Yeah, I
encourage
don't
everyone, don't have it affect you to the point of making you yourself as a human being miserable. It's not worth it that much.
I don't want to preach to people because obviously there are things out there that are devastating, right, in your
Mhm.
lives. Sometimes we, have a person that I work with that lost a child recently,
Mhm.
right? And that is, you know, like what are we talking about here, right? So Florida State is something I care about. Rep the logo. I said this on a show like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, to the point where names don't even matter because of the way the game is. The names don't even matter to me anymore. I care about the logo, and if the only thing, if there's only one thing in my life that's getting me down, and
Yeah,
it's the football team of the team that I have a heart for, then I'm living a pretty good life, right?
yeah,
So this is a chance, also for us to not pretend that there aren't some good things going on, right? So,
yeah,
Ryan, I know you're on X. I'm on X, by the way. Follow Big Papa East. Follow me, uh, VC Nole. We're on X a lot, and it's just a barrage of negativity a lot of the time. There are a few people that I will say that are on the positive side of things, and they do not waver, and I appreciate that. So you know who you are. Um, but there comes a time where it's almost like enough is enough, right?
yeah,
So that's what tonight's about, and hopefully going forward too, because there are some good things to talk about tonight. The first topic I want to get to tonight is finally the GOAT is going to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame.
yeah. For those of you who didn't hear, Peter Warrick, um, obviously an all-time great Seminole, but also an all-time great just college football player.
Yeah.
I mean, Vince, I know the Garnet and Old part of this show. We play off it a lot. For you, you were well into your career and working when Peter Warrick was doing his thing, winning national championships and everything like that in the late '90s. I was born in '87, so what I remember about Peter Warrick, Vince, is going to the sports bars with my dad, who was a big Florida State fan. Went to Florida State in '93, graduated in '93, so around the same
Hmm.
time as you.
Yep.
Um, and I remember it was probably around that time where I started to watch regular season games, like probably '98, '99.
Hmm.
Just from home on the TV. And then one of the greatest moments that I remember, like, you remember your bonding moments with like your parents that matter to you. There's certain moments that stand out,
Yeah.
and you don't even know necessarily why they stand out to you, but you know that they're important. And back in the day in '99, there was a sports bar in New Smyrna Beach called Gilly's Pub 44.
Okay.
Um, and it was known usually during bike week as, bikers bar kind of thing. Like, people come from bike week and do the thing. But uh, at that time, Florida State was about to go to the national title. I remember my dad being all in, like he was the whole season. We were watching the games, right? And he says, "Hey Ryan, do you want to go uh, to the pub and watch it with all my coworkers, the national championship game?" And keep in mind, he had never he brought me a lot of places, but when it comes to like his friends or
Yeah.
people he knows, he get a
Y-
babysitter kind of thing. You go out and
Yeah.
have
You're
fun
not
with him.
bringing your kid.
But I think he, for the first time, saw how much I was liking football and was enjoying watching it with him. That he thought it important enough to bring me there. Now it's pretty, looking back, it's a pretty rambunctious sports bar. Probably not the most kid friendly place to be. A lot of smoke back then, a little bit different,
Right.
right? It was just normal
Right.
to have smoke everywhere. But I remember him bringing me to that game and the excitement of watching it with that many other people, which I had never done. I'd never been to a Florida State football game live until like maybe 2004. Uh, that night, winning the title and watching Peter Warrick do what he did in that game, which is dominate. I mean, it left a mark on me where I still remember going to my dad to Pub 44 and watching a national championship and him putting on those window flags that you roll up your windows and the flags
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah.
And he ran those out his truck for like a week after winning the
Mm.
title, and people would be
Yeah.
honking right at the trucks. So that's what I remember of Peter Warrick is like he was my first introduction on the Florida State side that I can remember live, like watching it
Hmm.
in moment. You go back and watch Charlie Ward and everything, like on clips I do at least, but I wasn't there, you know, old enough to remember that. But Peter Warrick and Chris Winkie, that was my first connection of like, oh,
Yeah.
this is great. And this is how it always is at Florida State, is what he told me. This is like, we always are winning championships. And
That's right.
it
We're
feels
always
like
in the
forever
mix.
ago. But what a
Yeah.
moment for Peter Warrick to finally get recognized.
Yeah. It's well deserved, and I don't have really any idea. I don't pay attention enough to know why it took so long. It's really there's no real valid reason for
Mhm.
that. It's not like he was in a bunch of legal trouble or anything like that. I mean, so I don't understand that. But anyway, doesn't matter. He's going to be in now. And some of the most vivid memories I have of him, obviously, was the championship game. I was there. I wasn't actually in the dome. I was in a side facility watching it on the big screen, and we've talked about the reason. We talked about that in a older show, but
Mhm.
in a short version, I was a band director at the time. My high school band was playing at the Sugar Bowl. We did the pregame, and then they took all the kids out and put them in a out facility to watch the game. They didn't get to stay in, um, but yeah, watching that, and then the other. This is a nondescript. It's really nothing exciting, but after a game, one time we were walking out of Doak. We were over by the circus lot, and as we're walking by, Peter Warrick was out there, and um, it may have been the year after he left school, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was out there and he signed a hat for me. And so we have that hat, Peter Warrick, number 9. It's not actually on my display here. It's actually upstairs in a different Florida State room. But so that's where that is. And he was super nice. And he was actually on his way to the Leon County Fair.
Hmm.
So I said, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm fixing to go to the fair." So that's a kind of a running joke here within the family. Like, "What are you
Yeah.
doing tonight?" "I'm fixing to go to the fair."
Yeah, and it's funny. He's always been a nice guy to everyone who's talked to him or asked for anything, and he seems to be a kind individual. Looking back on those days now, man, it feels like so long ago now. But you'll never forget the picture of that arm draped over the arms, right, making the touchdown catch,
Right.
the double catch, right, because he caught it and went underneath and then
It
caught it
bobbled. Yep.
again.
Yep.
Um, and just seeing him do that walk, the cocky walk, right, like
Yeah. Yeah.
afterwards, he loved to do that, and his kickoff returns and as a return specialist was incredible. Probably one of the most like fun parts of his game is like, man, we could use some of that right now, right?
Yeah. And of course, his super highlight eluding the whole Louisiana Monroe team or Louisiana Tech team. Spartan Nole, the year we lost the Natty to the Vols, the fact Pete touched the ball one time in that game is criminal. I was at that game as well. Decided to buy some tickets to the Orange Bowl in hopes of, being there for a title. And yeah, that was Winky. Winky got hurt, right? And so I can't remember. No, Winky didn't get hurt. Was he hurt in that game?
In the 98, yeah, in Tennessee,
Was that the
Casey
game?
Weldon.
One of the games Winky didn't play, I think. In 99 he did, and then 2001 he did against the Sooners. So I think it was 98 Winky was hurt. So I can understand a little bit of that. But yeah, so that's my fault. I didn't go to the Vol game. That was in Tempe. So I did not go to that game.
Man,
T. Martin with the Vols, right? That's right. They won a title that year. Phil
but I'm
Fulmer.
glad it's happening. I'm glad he's getting recognized. And listen, Florida State right now could use any good news, right, that they can muster, even if it's from former glory.
I love it. No, I'm not going to poo-poo it at all.
Right.
They're in the
Exactly.
news. Like the Noles are in the news for a positive reason. And everybody, if you ask, and you see this on X, they ask some former players, like, who do you think is the greatest college football receiver of all time? Many of
Yeah.
them that were also great college receivers will say, hands down, Peter Warrick was the greatest they've ever seen.
Yeah, and from my standpoint, like modern college football, Florida State standards, first of all, it's really random when you look at Florida State's like all time list because you'll see Greg Carr on the all time touchdowns list, and you're like,
Right.
but all he did was post people up in the end zone and jump over them. Like that was his.
That's all he had to do.
That's all Drew Weatherford, playbook had. It was throw it up as hard as possible, as high as possible.
The rainbow offense.
But comparing him and looking at him versus like Rashad Green or Kelvin Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin's a completely different player. I would say Rashad Green's probably the closest thing we've gotten to a all-purpose receiver since Peter Warrick. Keon Coleman was probably a little bit more in the deep threat, but not the elusive one. Right? He wasn't like making anyone fall out of their stance. So I really feel like of all the talent that's come through Florida State, receivers have been like up and down. It's been kind of
for sure.
But that's why Rashad was so excited. Like we all loved him so much because we're like, oh my gosh, it's been so long since we've had
just
a
super reliable, super reliable, deceptive in terms of speed, and just fearless. So we haven't had a lot of those. With all the success Florida State has had, I don't think anybody would, I don't think any Florida State fan would say that we were wide receiver U, right?
No.
That's just not the DNA. but we've had some spectacular players at that position. And I got a chance to see a bunch of them, man, which I am very, very blessed because of that.
And in the latest round, I mean, I think Deuce could be that if he had a quarterback that could throw the ball consistently.
Yeah,
So
we'll
Deuce
see.
Robinson has the tools. I mean, you see it when you
Yeah,
see it in a player. And to be honest with you, Dancy has a little bit of that. He just needs more refinement. And he hasn't been in playing football that long, to be honest with you.
yeah,
But like you see, when you watch Deuce Robinson, and the reason why we're happy that he's coming back is because you recognize immediately in receivers if they're going to be a gamer or just like a fine role player. And I think we got ourselves a gamer coming back in Deuce, so that makes me excited. And then even Danzy, I think from an elite speed level, I mean, he was electric on multiple plays.
yeah. Getting those two guys back are absolutely critical. And there's a positive, right? And
Yep.
I know there's just a ton of uh, people just concerned about all the people leaving in the portal. But if you've got one or two, if you've got two guys that are, absolutely your number one and your number two, right? And you've got
Yep.
those guys and they are in the fold. I'm telling you, finding a 3 and a 4 and a 5 ain't that difficult. It's
Or
just
even
not that
necessarily
difficult.
needed really.
Yeah,
In
I
this
mean, well,
offense, it's not.
I mean, you have to have people to fill out the play, right?
Sure.
Right. But what I'm saying is that, like, especially in the South, Florida State, even the troubles that we're going through right now, we don't seem to have much problem finding skill players.
Right.
And so I'm not concerned about that at all. So Luane McCoy, enjoy your life. And
Sweet, sweet man.
it doesn't bother me. It just
No.
doesn't bother me, man.
Well, we talked about Deuce Robinson coming back, and Danzy. Heard another big one coming back this week. One that I thought was gone. Like I fully
Hmm.
thought was when the news came down. I'm like,
I know you
yeah,
did.
only because of the situation. Actually, when someone like Danzy goes like intends, or I'm thinking they could just negotiating wise be coming to the table. But the reason why I thought Wynn was gone is because they removed him from the roster page, and
Right. Yeah, yeah.
other players who are in negotiations, including the Desir twins, are still on the roster page, even though they're in the portal. Um, so when they removed from the roster, I'm like, okay, so the negotiation was clear that it wasn't going to happen, or
Right.
maybe they weren't necessarily that frustrated that he was leaving, or some combination of those items, maybe something else. But
Yeah,
that told me
usually when they remove somebody from the roster pretty quick, I mean, you just kind of read the tea leaves there, right?
right. And so I was very surprised. And by the way, the most basic "I'm returning" tweet of
Yeah,
all time.
good for him.
Yeah, he's like,
Good
"What do
for
you say? I'm
him.
running it back."
I don't need the drama,
Yeah,
right? I don't need the big I don't need a new graphic saying you're coming
yeah,
back. I don't need all man, we don't everything is so overdone these days.
mhm,
I'm old. Everything's so overdone. You don't need to have a graphic to tell me you're coming back, right?
yeah,
And I get it, but anyway, I'm super happy he's back because he was a pretty big recruit, right? He was,
yeah,
both physically and in terms of his talent.
yep,
And I'm not going to sugarcoat things. There hasn't been a great track record of that. So for him to decide to come back, two things. First of all, they were able to meet whatever was needed in terms of the
yep,
finances, which is awesome. And secondly, he has a desire to stay, right? So to me, sign him up. Let's go. Let's
yep.
keep it on. Two for the U. I see your comments there. I am going to watch Monday night because I love college football,
I love Indiana
and
too.
and I think it's going to be a good game. I really
Mhm.
do. And so if you do me a favor, two for the U, grab the link and share it out to your friends. This show, we don't hate on rivals. We'll troll a little bit because that's what rivals do. But you're more than welcome to be here as long as you hold yourself to a high level of
Yeah.
integrity, and you don't do things that would be considered to be kind of sketchy.
Yeah, and back to Kevin Wynn, I would say, the fear was, and it was the fear. Okay, Kevin Wynn by himself at gone. I mean, it would stink, but or the Desir twins, although frustrating, gone. Okay, but if all of them, you would that would be all the players in which you thought like had promise, like in their the defense starts to look worse, quick, much worse. So when you get Kevin Wynn back, you're like, okay, and then you're hoping that they work finally the thing out with the Desir twins, and you get them back, and so at least you're not starting over, and it's clear as day that we're not bringing in the creme de la creme right now of like whoever we want to get, we're getting
Right.
out of the portal. So the fear was you lose Win and you lose the Desirs, like who are you gonna get? Like it's gonna be much worse. So at least now any players we get in the portal at either one of those positions, at least you feel like, okay, well then, you know, additions, not
Yeah.
replacements.
Yeah, and there was a DL portal commitment earlier today, and there were two linebacker commits that happened today as well. And I'm not going to sit here and say these are you guys are going to be world beaters. It's not what I'm
Mhm.
saying. But also, I'm telling you, the people that left aren't world beaters either.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, what are we talking about here? This is a reason why the portal doesn't it doesn't affect me the way it does a lot of people. Um, Again, it's all about the logo. It's
Yep.
no longer, at least right now in this day and age, with the flexibility and the comings and goings that the players have the ability to do right now. You'll have to forgive me, players, that right now I don't give a damn who you are, you're like your name,
Um,
right?
I have mixed feelings on that. So, because there are still players that have come here
There are a couple, but
and
it's very
stayed.
few, Ryan.
So what you got to do is you got to really appreciate those that have come and are just here. Like a good example of this, it's like there are a couple players on this team like you were just assuming would probably go in the portal,
Yeah.
and then nothing, and you're like, well, okay. I mean, good, yes. So the players that do stick around, the reason why we all want the Desir twins to work out and why it hasn't reached the level to which people are like, well, the heck with them, get them out of here, is because we know they're talented and we were super excited to get them here,
And they were not highly recruited.
and they weren't highly recruited, so you feel like that you gave them the chance, they proved it. Okay, now we're going to pay you more, and it's going to be a happy thing because everyone wins here, and that's the perfect situation
It
when it
really
comes to the
is.
NIL. Is that you bring someone in, you give someone a shot, they are above what you hope they could be, and then you pay them. Like that's the perfect NIL situation. And what's frustrating is about the situation is I don't think it's like the kids themselves causing the delay.
Most of
I
the
think
time, it's not.
it's going to be the agents that are trying to hang these teams out to dry, and that's the modern college football. What I am appreciative though is that you've seen this all across college football, and we didn't know what the situation was going to be a month ago. Is it turns out that those guarantee, like if you leave you owe $500,000. uh no school so far has said no, we don't have to pay that,
Right. Right.
and we're just going to take them anyways and challenge that. We'll see in court. No one's. And you know why I think no team has done that, Vince? Because they don't want it done to their players,
Absolutely. That's correct.
and so it's mutually beneficial across all of the college football teams to all do clauses in which state that if you want to leave, you're going to have to pay an out clause, and if all teams want to do it, no team's going to step on the other teams because they don't want anyone doing it to them. So it's a self-fulfilling thing. And what that means that, hey, if I'm just making up numbers. If player X is making 200K with Florida State, and he thinks he's worth 300K, but his buyout is 50K, right? Well, some team might have negotiated down, but now they have to pay 200K to get him,
Sure.
right? It's not a match. They have to match the buyout and his
Have to do
contract,
the buyout and the contract. Absolutely.
And it's
So that's
harder for teams to get that, like, to justify that, and it's harder. It means that if you want that to happen, you better be the elite of the elite. And although we like the Desir twins and Kevin Wynn, they're not Jeremiah Smith. They're not the top
at
player
least not yet,
in the
right? So
country.
they have not shown that, to be. Now the trajectory may hit that,
Yep.
but as far as what they put on tape, I think this is one of the reasons why, at least rumor has it that the buyout for the Twins was over $1 million,
To buy him.
500,000 each,
Yeah.
right? So that means that a school that was going to bring them on would have had to pay that plus whatever they were going to pay them. And so, yeah, so again, we're not negative tonight, but that's a reason I think why that negotiations continue to go on. And also, by the way, it's also, if you're going to look for something to be, frustrated or angry about that situation, I don't think you should look at Norvell or the program or anything like that. Like
Right,
they
right.
had already done what was necessary.
They did the right thing ahead of time.
They did the right thing ahead of time, and they just keep coming back to the table. So, and I get that's what you do in a capitalistic society, right? But also, that's just the way it is. So, but yeah, so it was nice to have Kevin Wynn decide to circle the block, as it were. That's awesome, and I think Tomcat put in here. Makes you question what pot roast is doing. Just put that up on the screen right now. I'm not going to be. This is my positive night. I don't know what pot roast is doing or not doing. All I know is when the 2026 season starts, we will have a roster of 105 kids, and that roster will either be good enough or they won't. And that will indicate what's going to happen with this staff.
That what you just said reminded me of something, and it's been talked about before. But how's about you don't do 105 and you do 80, and you pay all the other players more on your team? Go back to the numbers that it used to be that you used to run your program with. Honestly, you used to run your program was 85, right?
Yep.
And it seemed like it was okay for as long as that was a thing. And so if I would do the full, and I do it in EA Sports college football events. The limit in EA Sports college football is still 85. I do 70, and I just go and spend all my hours in recruiting on the 5-star prospects.
Right.
So I believe in raising the talent ceiling and having less players. I wouldn't mind if we did something like that. I won't be surprised if some team tries that.
Somebody might try that, right? They'd rather have a smaller group of kids to spread the money around to. And hey, there have been, historically dominant teams with an 85 roster limit.
Yep.
Keep that in mind.
And the only thing that hurt me, and I'm glad everyone pointed out the other day, is they were talking about largest variance in victories across college football playoff era, and then everyone was like, if it had been 1 year earlier, Florida State would be on number one across the board on all the numbers. That made me smile.
Yeah,
1 year earlier, if we had been
1 year
in the college
earlier
playoff.
Yeah. By the way, Ryan, I don't know if you noticed, but our buddy is back in the game tonight.
I like it.
It's going to be a great game. So, just going to shout out our older, or the Kane fan that popped in here a little bit ago, 2 for the U. Just to show you, this is proof. Drunken Monkey here. He's a longtime supporter of this show, good friend of ours, die-hard Kane fan. And I know he's super excited, and I'm excited for him. Like, I will never root for the Canes, and he knows that. But I can tell you, him being my friend, I am excited for him. Like, I'm excited for the excitement that he has, right? So,
yeah, it's
Drunken
really
Monkey, Raj P, all you, brother.
Yeah, for Raj, it's like I'm just happy that he gets to experience, like, for the first time since 2001 what this will feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Take out that VHS butt, baby. You might have a Blu-ray a 4K copy that's a loss against Indiana potentially, but at
Potentially.
least it would be in 4K. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to be a really good game, and Indiana's been dominant. Like they're a machine, but
Mm-hmm.
Miami is also resilient as hell, man.
Yes, they
They do
are, and
not.
they're
They
big.
have, and yeah. So it's almost like I think Cameron said something like this the other day, and I totally agree with him on this. Is like, if I didn't care about either team, this is the kind of game I would want to watch,
Yep. Yeah.
right? Like this is what you want. But because of course I have a rooting interest because I don't want Miami to win. So it makes it a little weird.
Yeah.
But if you had no loyalties either way to either team, this is the kind of game you would want to see. Thank
Yeah,
you,
for sure.
Suzanne Bajor. We got our first super chat of the night. We're trying to hit 5 super chats or $100. And if we get that, we are going to give away 5 Garnet and Old memberships at the end of the show. So Suzanne
I actually have an
Bajor,
announcement on that
what a crazy offseason.
on
College
the
football has changed.
on the YouTube membership. I'm gonna, because it's MLK Day and I'm off on Monday, Vince.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a Garnet and Old show in the middle of the afternoon on Monday.
Really? Well, why
Yes,
would you do that?
for the YouTube members,
For the members only show.
members only show.
Well, that sounds fancy. I do not have that day off.
you need to bring that up with the VP of HR there,
I
who I
do. I
know
do
very
need to bring
well.
that up. I do
What
need
are
to.
we doing?
Hey, listen,
Send her the FSU MLK post.
whether it's MLK Day, I don't care what day it is. It could be any kind of holiday or not. If
Yeah.
there is a football championship game going on that day, we should all have that day off.
Yeah, exactly.
And the next day.
But I decided I want to do a members only show because I just want to give my thoughts on the national championship game that day. It won't be a long show, half an hour, get into it a little bit, kind of give my thoughts on the game. But so if you're not a YouTube member and you want to become a YouTube member, hit the join button on YouTube only and come hang out with us. You can also, by being a YouTube member, if you were to message us on X or tweet at us on X, we will follow you back, and then you can DM us as many times as you want and ask questions of the show. We also prioritize our members in the show questions on the chat here. So
I don't want to be
members.
Yeah, I don't want to be like a woe is me kind of guy, but we haven't hit our goal in a while, Ryan. And I
Times
really
have been
want
tough in the Florida State world, though.
I really want to give away these memberships. They're just sitting there waiting to be given out. So get us to the goal, folks. And we appreciate that. It goes toward the platform that we use here to run the show. It's not like Ryan and I are buying islands in the Caribbean off of $100. So at least not yet. Once the AI takes over, we'll be in the age of abundance.
According to the future fathers of AI, we are all going to get free money from the government. It's all going to be great. But until then, I won't buy an island. Not yet. The island I do have is in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. That's my island.
Is it in a stream?
Vince, did you hear? A small thing I want to bring up. Did you hear? Jameis Winston was on an interview on a podcast.
Yes.
And was asked a couple questions. One of them being, tell us about and he started talking about the beginning of his career with the Bucs, and he's like, what I love is my first play as an NFL player was a touchdown. They're like, really? Yeah, that's so cool. And he's like, yeah, it was a pick six.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to the NFL.
Welcome to the NFL. And then the second one was, what's your favorite Jameis Winston quote? And he said, let me ask Jameis. He said that to himself.
Yeah.
And then he said, it's probably the strong if you're strong. And he referenced where it came from.
Right. Yeah, I think that was on the Kelsey brothers, right?
Yeah. Jameis is a gift to all football. And what I love about Jameis Winston these days, we always knew, but no one else knew. And now the whole world in the comment section on every video he's on says,
protect this man at all costs.
Man, he needs to be on every show. Like, everyone loves him. Everyone.
And why, Ryan? Why?
Well, his personality.
Yeah, but it's more than that, right? It's not just the personality. Like,
who he is. It's his authenticism.
he's authentic and he's super positive, man. Just super, super positive.
Mm-hmm. We should
Here we
all be that
are.
way.
We should
Yeah.
all be that way. Daniel Gorby, 9783, longtime viewer of the program, says, "Go Hoosiers." Okay. I don't know about their chant. It's like who Hoosiers or something like that. I don't know any of that. I'm not going to learn it. My chant only does. I only have room for one chant in my life. But thank you for the super chat for sure.
They may not end up winning the national championship, but they'll always be a hoot to me.
Oh boy, you're getting your dad jokes in early.
I have to, yeah, I have to work in all the dad jokes, you know? Oh, man. I love that, Tomcat's, comment here. I have to bring it up. Okay, Vince will be positive. Heisman Trophy is one hand, Natty in the other. There you go, yes.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Why isn't
Manifest.
that updating?
Yeah.
Manifest it. I'm trying to update this goal here because we just got another super chat. So give me a moment. And the next thing we're going to talk about, Ryan, is FSU Health.
Yeah, you kick this one off, Vince.
Yeah. So if you've been paying attention, for several months now, I think they announced, maybe half a year or so ago that there's this movement going around that Florida State was wanting to purchase TMH and then basically get into the business of an educational center, a health educational center, and basically do what most major universities do, and align with hospitals in the healthcare.
Yep.
So if you drive around Florida, you see UF Health. At least in Jacksonville, you see it all over the place, right? If you're down in South Florida, Health, Miami Health is all over there.
Yep.
And so, for reasons, if you want to look up, you can look up these reasons, but there are reasons why Florida State is, I don't want to say late to the game, but they weren't able to play in this field for a really, really long time. And it's kind of shady why. If you want to look it up, I'll let you go do it on your own. Ask Grok. But anyway, FSU Health is closer to being a real thing. They had a Tallahassee City Commission vote last night on the memorandum, and it passed 3-2.
Yep.
And so I think the final vote is happening in March. And so basically the vote was to allow the sale of for Florida State to become the owner, or at least the proprietor of TMH, and work in conjunction with them to build an education facility on property. And they've already had plans to build a facility out in Panama City Beach, I believe.
Yeah.
And so this is a big deal because, when we think about how much money it takes to run a football program, athletics in general, it takes a ton of money.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that this money is going to athletics. That's not what I'm saying. But the reason why I bring it up is if you ask any Big Ten school and you ask them, what's the bigger budget, the athletic budget or the health system budget? The health system budget and all that kind of stuff dwarfs the athletic budget.
But
So as Florida State's academic prowess has climbed, and no one can deny that, even if you're a
I would
rival,
not have gotten in anymore.
you cannot deny it. They are top notch and considered to be one of the premier institutions in this country. One of the things that was missing was an aligned health system.
Yep.
That's about to happen. And I can tell you that is a big deal when you're talking about conference realignment.
Sure is.
Go, Ryan.
That means that it doesn't mean it's a guarantee. It doesn't mean it always happens, but the AAU certification classification um, is a predominant feature of many Big Ten schools. And there are many requirements and things that you have to do to get your ducks in a row to kind of even sniff that kind of classification. And Florida State's done pretty much everything now that would have been expected of Florida State and we would anticipate would happen if the end goal was to get AAU certified and thus make us even more attractive to a conference like the Big Ten. It doesn't mean you end up in the Big Ten.
No, it
It could
doesn't.
mean that they become more attractive to the Big Ten. The Big Ten wants them, and ESPN overpays to keep Florida State in the fold, or makes it easier on the contract negotiations to get them in the fold. But what it does mean is it makes you more attractive to the Big Ten. That's an important part of this. But in the long term health of Florida State, what you say about the budget, the money incoming, it's a bigger deal long term,
Sure.
not just for football, but just for the health of the
Oh,
university.
for the school in general. I
Yeah,
mean, it's not like I said, this isn't specifically about football. Again, I am, garnet and gold till I'm
yeah,
dead and cold. So whatever it is, for sports, obviously the music, the College of Music, um, all the programs, the education school, the
yeah,
business school, computer science. It's all, to me. It's all the same. So you have something like that happen to your
yeah,
university, and it's just going to basically exponentially
yeah,
grow the logo and grow the program and grow grow opportunities
yeah,
across the board. And so that's a selfish standpoint. But from a humane standpoint, I've I've only lived in the Panhandle when I was going to school there, right? But I know the people that live there, and they will tell you this, that there's not a lot of great. It really is a struggle to find significant healthcare sometimes for specific
yeah,
things. And so people have to travel. They have to come over here to Jacksonville to go to Mayo, for example,
yeah,
right? And so just from a offering, to building up and offering the best healthcare that can possibly be provided in that region of Florida, it's a huge, huge deal for people.
yeah,
And I watched the commission vote yesterday, Ryan. I subjected myself to watching it because I wanted to hear people, because they had people come up from the community to, basically say why they were for it or against it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes that's a circus that's kind of fun to watch. Um, but I was curious on some of the reasons why people would be against it. And aside from some of the really interesting characters that
yeah,
came up to the mic, I would say that a lot of it is very short-sighted.
yeah,
So anyway, they passed 3-2, and the final vote for that is in March. And so they have one more round, I think, just for some final, crossing T's and
yeah,
whatnot. So, from a positive standpoint, man, that is just super, super huge for the
yeah.
university and for anybody that is affiliated with the school.
Talk about crossing T's and dotting I's, though. The last thing we want to talk about real quick and touch on is former Ole Miss linebacker Chris Jones just signed with Florida State, which is I would argue, Vince, the biggest incoming transfer portal announcement of the year for Florida State
I haven't done enough
because
deep dive on him, but go
he
ahead.
made 133 tackles last season with Ole Miss.
Okay.
So that's not a small amount at all. That's a healthy tackle rate, and we need it. And so if you put him in the linebacker position, right, um, it's going to be better likely than what Florida State had. 6 foot pounds, 6 foot tall, 240 pounds, good numbers coming out, and yeah. So I mean, I think it's a huge pickup for Florida State. I think again, I'm going to reiterate. I think this is their biggest. um, of the year. He had 3.5 sacks last year too. So this is a guy that can come in and plug and play in linebacker immediately. And especially in this system where you really want someone, right, who is versatile and can get around. He's got good speed. He's got good motor. I love a good motor, Vince. There are some players that are just that gifted. They're big and strong, and they just maul to the quarterback. But there are some guys. What's his name? Who was our first big transfer a couple years ago? What's his name? Defensive end. Mike Norvell's first or second season.
Jared Verse?
No. Early on, Mike Norvell's tenure.
The guy from Georgia.
Yeah. I don't remember now, but I love high motor. The guys that are not necessarily the largest individuals in the world, but they just never stop the pursuit of the football.
Yeah.
That's who I like to see. And when you watch this guy's tape, you just see that it's nonstop effort that gets him what he needs. So I love that. I think this is the biggest pickup in Florida State's portal offseason. Not retainment, but actual get. And a good way to end the show, I think, is to just get a commitment.
Yeah, there's some positivity, and that's kind of the point of the show tonight. And
Yeah.
like I said, and names aside, you're gonna wear the logo. I'm gonna root for you, and I'm gonna root for you to be the best version of yourself, to help this program and to get this fandom back to where they feel like they should be. And I know it's going to be a long haul. I don't have any delusions that next year is going to be, some kind of magical run, although you never know, because we've seen it already. And Indiana's playing for the national title on Monday with a bunch of 3-stars. So, and you can come back to me and say, well, they have a better coach. Well, I can come back to you and say, hey, sometimes it just takes the right players too. So,
Jermaine Johnson, by the way.
Jermaine Johnson. Yeah, I knew Johnson.
That guy
I
was
couldn't think of the name.
nonstop effort.
Yeah. But just for just because I'm such a positive mood, Ryan, I'm going to give away the memberships anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to give them away. I don't care. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the program. I'm feeling good about Garnet Gold in general. I'm going to give away some memberships here. So if you are not watching on YouTube, go over to YouTube right now. And that's the only way the memberships happen. You don't get a membership on X. So let's do that right now. We haven't done this in a while, Ryan. I give away 5 memberships right now. It's first come, first serve. I can't pick the people that get it, right? So this is a luck of the draw. So if you happen to get one of these, I would go out and play the lottery immediately after this.
Well, no, Vince is lying about he can't pick anyone if they all went to Vince.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And
they
again,
have come in now.
As you accept them, and Daniel Gorby, Chris Coe, Joe Atkinson, K-Dog, and Benjamin Griffin, on Monday, I'll say at noon on Monday, I'll be doing a members-only show on YouTube. So by you being a member, hop on in over to YouTube at noon on Monday, and I'll be doing a members-only show about the national championship, and you guys are invited to join me. So thanks for being our newest members of the Garnet and Old show.
Yeah, and basically what that means, you get 30 days basically of the membership stuff. And if you want to continue on, we appreciate that. There are 3 levels to it, and we would appreciate that. All that goes to supporting the show. But if you don't want to continue, that's fine too. But we appreciate you guys hanging out and being here for the show tonight, and for those of you that contributed to the show as well. We appreciate you guys all being here. We want to also thank our sponsors, Captain John Black of Captain Black's Fishing in Panama City Beach, the premier offshore fishing captain in Florida and the region, and also the Palace Saloon, a tradition in Tallahassee. If you are a Tallahassee person, you know where it is. If you're not a Tallahassee person, go to Tallahassee and go to the Palace.
Right by the stadium.
Yes, sir.
Guys, it's been a great show. Started, ended, did it all on a positive note. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, Florida State, we should always make us happy even when they make us sad. No inside info, no contacts, no problem. And of course, Vince, lead us out.
Hey, send Chiefs all the damn time. And I forgot to change this, but it said Merry Christmas all the damn time. So
That's hilarious.
that's pretty funny too. But
That's the
send
equivalent of
Chiefs.
leaving up your Christmas tree in the show.
I've left up my Christmas tree a little too long. Go Noles.
Go Noles, everyone. Take care.